Good morning, YouTube. Today we're going to install a cold air intake on my F-150. The cold air intake I decided on is the JLT cold air intake, and the reason I chose JLT was because there's a lot of discussion on forums and Facebook pages about the gains, the horsepower gains with the JLT cold air intake are actually verifiable. They ran some dyno tests and they've actually shown, I think it's anywhere between 13 to 20. I'm not 100% sure on that figure, but that's the horsepower gain from the JLT cold air intake. And also, since I just did my Omega tune by Oz Tuning and now adding the cold air intake, that truck ought to really rip pretty good. So I'm going to do the install video today. Obviously I'm going to unbox it as well because I haven't done that yet, and we'll go from there. JLT is based in Virginia, and their website JLTTrueColdAir.com. I'll put their information in the description below, and check them out for any cold air intakes you may need on your Ford F-150 or Ford Mustang. And I'm not sure if they've delved into other markets. I haven't been on their website in a couple weeks since I ordered this cold air intake. My intake's been sitting here in the box just patiently waiting for me to do it, so today's the day. But anyway, let's get started with the unboxing and we'll go from there. Okay, I have been using my GoPro head mount for a few weeks, especially with working on the Jeep project. And the main reason is my tripod hardware from GoPro broke. So I'm currently waiting on new hardware from GoPro, and it was, supposed to have been shipped last week, and I didn't get anything yet. So that's why I can't use a tripod setup right now, and it's a little bit frustrating. But the head mount works, it's just sometimes it goes crooked, and the image is a little off kilter, but I try my best. So this is it, JLT cold air intake. Here is a gasket for the lower half of the airbox that stays. There's the elbow for, this is what's going to go on the throttle body side. And this is 4.5 inch tubing here down to 4 inch, I think, there to go into the throttle body. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I guess I should do my research before I make these videos. And this is the part of the airbox that seals to the hood of the truck. I also got a pre-filter for the dust and everything. And I've never ran pre-filters before, but since I'm using a dry filter, I thought a pre-filter would probably be a good investment. But we'll see. This must be the actual filter head. Of course, I got rid of my razor blade, so I'll have to get that. And obviously, for those that have joined for the Jeep build, here it is. Still get work done when I can. I should have a video coming up over the weekend for sure, working more on this Jeep. I know this may seem a little bit hard to believe, but after this weekend, this thing should be primered. What I do not have yet is a new tailgate and a new hood, but the body of this thing should be in primer by the end of this weekend. That's the goal. Holy Toledo, look at the size of this filter. That is massive. SB filters, that's interesting. SB, I think, makes their own cold air intake products. Holy smokes, that is huge. All right. And there's the actual intake tube itself. Should go in this direction, like this. Here would be the throttle body, and then the elbow, and then into the box. Wow. One big straight pipe. I have to wipe that out. Look at that. I don't want that going into my throttle body. I'm gonna have to run a rag through it. Really gritty and a lot of plastic there. Kind of oily too. I'm guessing this is an instruction sheet. Wow, they could have done a little better with this, I'm not gonna lie. These instructions are terrible. Looks like they printed a mass quantity from a copy machine and nobody was paying attention to the quality. Okay, so I'll need a 5/16 nut driver, a Phillips head screwdriver. Okay, let's get those and we'll get down to business. Alright, so I'm going to pop the hood on the truck and we'll do a startup with the factory air box, and then we'll pull the truck up towards the garage and I'll put the new one on and we'll do another startup, see if there's a difference in the sound there. Alright, so here's the stock air box. These rubber air dams here block the air from going in, and they're also up top right here on the sides. I don't know if you can see that. But those block the air and direct it into the intake. And then it goes down into the bottom of the chamber, up through the filter, and then down through all these boxes that eliminate noise, and then into the throttle body way back there. So, yeah, all right. I'm gonna do a start up here with my remote start just so we can hear. Okay, it's not gonna start up because the hood's open. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that. So, let's just do a startup. You kidding me? There's no seam on this paper. All right, pick a corner. All right, so let's apply this gasket. Alright, so there's that. Install the heat shield onto the factory box. And this would be the heat shield. So this is just as simple as going on like that. And then the clamps. Alright, seems like it seals pretty good on there. Okay. Install the rubber reducer on the throttle body. Wait. Yeah. Rotate down to sit in the heat shield. So this needs to come all the way around too, like that. Next up is the filter. And the pre-filter. Now the reason I chose to run a pre-filter is I like to make sure that the air is filtered as good as possible, and pre-filters don't impact the intake. There's very little restriction with them. Let's put this on. Well, that went right on, no problem. All right, so there it is. That was a pretty crappy install, I'm not gonna lie. Better be worth it. If it's not, I still have the factory setup. I'll just put the factory setup back on and be satisfied with it. But I mean, how did they think? If you look at this, sorry, how would they think that those are in the same location? This is how the factory air intake sat, exactly like this, at that angle. And there's gonna be some noise here as I take this headband off. How would they think that that setup at that angle is the same as that? It's not even close. Which is why I don't know what for intake they sent me, but I mean it works, but it doesn't. So if you're watching JLT, you need to take a look at your intake tubes and figure out what's going on with them. Because something ain't right. One nice thing about JLT, I'll give them some credit here, they can factory paint their intake tubes. So whatever color your truck is, you can get that painted to match. All of my engine is stock. There's no dress ups or add-ons or anything to it to dress it up any. And everything under here is black, so that's why I went with the black. But let's start it up and we'll see what it sounds like and see if there's a difference. So there's a little bit of hissing there. I want to take it on a road test here. I'll take the camera with me and hold it and see if we hear any difference as far as driving, and then we'll button up the video for the day. Okay, yeah, you can hear it a little bit. I got up to just shy of 4,000 RPM there. And you can hear a throatier noise up front, that's for sure. Coupled with the exhaust, it does sound pretty damn good here. Hopefully this Jeep will get some distance on us so I can get on it pretty good. So that was 3,500 RPM again. Where I'm at, I can't really mess around too much hammering it. It's a pretty quiet residential area, and I'm actually near a college campus, and they can be pretty sticklers out here, but alright, we're in sport mode here. I can get on it pretty good. This thing's ready for a drag strip. I really would like to take it and get my times and see what she does. That was pretty impressive. Obviously on video it's hard to tell, you know, just how hard it's accelerating, and I don't even know if you can see the speedometer through that as far as my speed. RPM wise, I got up just shy of 5,000. I don't even know what gear I was in. I think second. So that was probably pushing close to 60. Somewhere around there. So anyway, that is the installation of the JLT cold air intake and a little bit of a road test. Not a terrible install, but I still think there's something not right with that tube with regard to the placement of the valves for the PCV. I could be wrong and for some reason did something wrong, but I highly doubt that because I followed the instructions as it was. The quality of the instructions was terrible. I mean, it was just a printed piece of copy paper that obviously nobody paid attention to. When it came off the copier, it was all messed up. That's what happens when you make copies of copies. So JLT, take a hint, make some improvements there. As far as the performance, so far I can't make an accurate judgment, other than there is a slight difference in sound and I would have realistically needed to see numbers before and after to determine the true benefit. Obviously, there's a benefit with removing all that silencer stuff, all those extra little nooks and crannies that are on the factory intake, and removing those gives you a straight shot from the filter into the throttle body. So there's obviously some improvement there, maybe less turbulence for the air that's coming in, which obviously is why you hear noise. But yeah, it is what it is. So that's that. Look for a Jeep video to come this weekend. I'll be working the next couple nights. So the Jeep, I will have a video probably Saturday, maybe Friday night, but Saturday, and then probably another one early next week for what I get done over the weekend. With all that said, if you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. There's lots of links in the description below to various social media outlets that I have, including Instagram and Facebook, and also some other opportunities such as Patreon and a GoFundMe account. So I hope you all have a great week. The weather's kind of crappy here. Maybe it's not so crappy where you're at. Take care. Have a good day.